We live. Come join the live. For those that enter in later and you hear any background noise, that is people living. So I want to say welcome to all the new supporters, the viewers, those of you that are my members. I appreciate all of you. There's a few things that I notice about what's taking place. Now, I want to address support because the man upstairs is putting it on my heart to talk about it. Now, because I realize some of you have entered and you have not pressed the thumbs up button, you are what I call a and it starts with a H. It's funny how people will be skeptical and then watch every time. They don't support. They don't want to see you up. They don't want to see you rising. My hypothesis is they do it so they could pinpoint your downfall. Any of y'all know anything about that? Now let's talk about this email. The email that entailed absolutely nothing. And I'm wondering, how do people function? How do you function if you cannot communicate? You know, some people will act as if they're someone else to see if you'll talk to them. Y'all know any chaotic beings like that? Now, they will push the narrative that it's you wanting to communicate, but it's them. You don't care what they're doing, where they're at, where they're going. However, because their life is doing and I do mean garbage, they feel like I should feel some kind of way because of what's taking place with me, which they don't understand either. The problem is most people want a savior. They want someone to come in and save them while showing absolutely no support. I do not do free readings. I don't do them. So for those that come and say, help, when you know I'm helping, it's even gotten to the point where most individuals are rushing to watch the content and not even thinking about the ADS. Then they say things like they should be happy that I'm watching, as if I don't have any skills. You ever run across anybody that feel like you owe them and they owe you? The thing about it is, I know when someone is deficient, when someone has DEBIT, DEBT. You know, you cannot maneuver in this world properly without one of those DEBIT cards. You know what I'm talking about? Grand Rising. You know, when I see the crowns and the purple and the count, that means some are attempting to share the content and get it out, even if they can't drop a coin. And I appreciate that. That's a good thing. Because it's about sharing, which equates caring. Because again, like I stated before, it trickles down. You put good energy into the world and it comes back to you. You can't sit there and say, I'm not going to watch no ADS. I'm not going to hit that CA. I'm not going to do nothing. I'm going to watch because I know she's picking up on my energy and see how I can maneuver. Do you know the man upstairs already clocked that T? So now that the ones that felt like they could use me and that they could move around freeloading and then paying for the things that they want, then figuring out that they can't, that's not a good investment. You ever just ran across somebody that constantly make bad choices while figuring that they're making good ones? You know what they say about fallback plans? That means you gotta fall, right? If you have a backup plan, that means you gotta back up, not move forward. So that means you gotta go back into some energy that you thought you conquered. You ever seen someone burn all the bridges because they feel like they don't need you? And then all of a sudden, they realize that you are important. You ever ran across someone that has a whole bunch of nice rides, and then they can't use not one of them, so they'll hop in your raggedy car? It's funny how the man upstairs will do that to you. Here you is, or they is, running around acting like you mean absolutely nothing, and then they end up with nothing. You ever notice that? You know the thing about a fall, sometimes it takes 20, 30 years to fall. As a matter of fact, that is a requirement to ascend out of distortion. You have to accumulate a certain amount, and then you have to fall. And depending on who you are, most individuals have to have somebody bearing witness to it. Now, if you ain't ish, then that means you're going to have a whole bunch of people like you watching. Now, if you have a hexagon on you, which a lot do, they'll do things like put it on the family members. So you know what I do? I protect my family. Because you have individuals that feel like if they can't get you, they'll get your loved ones. Spiritually. You know what happens spiritually first. We all are versed enough to understand that it happens in the spirit realm first. If you haven't came across that knowledge, then you probably shouldn't be watching me. It's interesting this morning. I heard someone say, "Arr." And I said, what is that? Ever just heard someone gurgle or yell out something and you half asleep? You trying to figure out what it is. Some of y'all gonna encounter some beings when you decide to move about. And you're gonna say, what is that? My advice is to not try to speak and establish a friendship because you feel like you might be able to use that being later on. Because you know it's not a being like yourself, but you feel it might be a D. So you feel like if you give a couple of dollars, buy them a tall can or something, you'll be able to use them later. My advice is to not do that. You know what strategy is? Do you know what it means to be strategic? Some have been stepped on so much that they have no choice. They have to be strategic of what they do and what they say. And if you are someone like myself, the man upstairs will come in and maneuver things for you. So you don't have to feel like you're doing something wrong. Even if that means he brings you to your knees. Now, for some, when he brings you to your knees, it's for you to pray. P-R-A-Y, not P-R-E-Y. And for others, it's so whoever you're communicating with will understand what's taking place. We are all well versed in the miraculous. Because when we get healed from something, we'll say things like, only the man upstairs could do something like that. I had this sentence. They said I had this. And then all of a sudden, you live 30 years. You know, at some point, some people stop giving the man upstairs the glory. Then they fall back into their routine, not strategy. Doing the same things that got them in that predicament before. Me, I learned fast. Greetings, welcome to the live. I learned fast. It don't take me a long time to pick something up. If I get kicked in the behind or knocked in my head one time, that's all I need. Some people ain't like me. They just want to win. It is like that Meet Me Roadrunner. You know, the Wile E. Coyote, I believe that's... The Meet Me is always running, always making it out, and the coyote just be eating. The coyote want to eat meat. It's a roadrunner. Here it is, the coyote got all kind of avils, whatever the things is, dropping on their head, falling off cliffs and everything. It's just like, you ain't learned the first gazillion, billion times. Some of y'all, that's what y'all dealing with. You be saying, man upstairs, Why is this MOFO still messing with me? Is you doing what you said you was gonna do? Where is Calvary? And Calvary's sitting there like, we doing what we supposed to do. You might not be, but we doing it. Because some people feel like they should be able to do whatever it is they were doing before and still have a different outcome. Let it go. Like, that is the definition of entity. Doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. That's somebody that's not that smart. And when you happen to encounter someone and you want to save them, because a lot of us choose who we believe should be saved, right? The anvil fall on your head. You see how the man upstairs work? And then when you all bewildered and effed up, they move on to someone else that they really want to be with until they well run dry. You ever seen an old player it's shameful. Have y'all ever just looked and say, he's still on that J-Cat stuff? He's still doing what he was doing when he was 18, 26, 42. Absolutely no growth. They feel like there's going to be a female, some young gal to save them all the time. You know what I'm saying? Then it don't matter if you got a house. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down? It don't matter if you in the jets. It don't matter if you sleeping in a van. When you run into an old player, they don't care. Them the kind you gotta watch as they start looking at your daughters. You know what I'm talking about? Don't get them a nasty piece of Benz, BMW, Lexus. That, because then they feel like they gonna recreate their 20s. They gonna be out there on Figueroa, E14, looking like a trick daddy, while feeling like they a PIMP. Y'all ever seen an old player? Just riding around looking like the dude in the creepy white van. You ever seen the dude in the creepy white van? The one that look like utility? They just ride. They don't care no more. That be the one saying, I'll pay your phone bill. What you want from the beauty supply? Them is old players there. It's different fractions to old players. But it do be pathetic. Somebody got it right. Women and females don't have the luxury of settling down when they get old. Typically they don't, because they're not attractive, not for these males. They're not even gonna look at someone their age. It's always gonna be some young gal. And when they wake up and they watch gone, their wallet gone, car keys, they mysteriously got a bump upside their head. Everything gone. They start talking about women ain't ish, women. And you ain't got no woman inside. That young gal done left out. She halfway to East Oakland. And I do mean East. You won't find her. She was some young dude. They got a baby they gotta take care of. You can think you can find her, but she wears so many different hairstyles, you won't know her if you see her. I'm trying to. Don't get one of the mixed ones. They in Nova Scotia somewhere with a real PIMP. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all ever seen a real PIMP? Well, you know, it's an N and y'all ever seen one? I grew up in an era where it was real ones. It was a transition between the traditional PIMP to the players. The players is the ones that were tennis shoes. This new stuff, like the ones that are below my era, these are not the real, they not even real players. You know, they say if you ain't had a stable and at least 3 luxury cars, you're not a real player in the game. Y'all ever heard that? And you can't get them by default. That means if a real PIMP happen to go down, they come and give you his car because that's what they drive in. And then when he get out, he wants your head and tell you can keep the B. But you out of pocket. You know, out of pocket is dual. That means it applies to the females and the males. You ever seen a dude that's out of pocket? They just ain't got no respect. You ever just be with a dude that ain't got no respect and then they lose respect for you? It's like when a dude, especially in the hood, when a dude lose respect in the hood, that means you shouldn't be with him. Because if they ain't got some of them, if they ain't got the tough thigh owls, I'm talking about something to clear the whole block. Because some do get aided on, you know, depending on who they are. But if they got if they got something to clear the whole block and it's legit, then you better watch out. Then the type I like. Because they gonna shut the whole block down. You know what I'm saying? Come after me, they gonna shut the whole block down. That's what I like. That's love there. They gonna do it spiritually and physically. But when you got a wannabe that's confused, that don't know what loyalty is, that feel like anything under the age of 15 is a come up, y'all know what I'm talking about? Psst, I'm gonna put you up on game. Megan, L-A-W. You know what they do over there? They showcase everything. Some of y'all gonna go over there and y'all gonna realize your baby daddy on there. And that's why you can't find him. And when that happens, go ahead and bless that CA, PEKA 69. Again, that's PEKA 69, because I'm gonna help get you right. There's no secret that I'm a healer. So, sometimes I work so much, they have to heal me. I be over here like, oh man, oh man, oh man. You know what I'm saying? This baby's got to eat. It's a reading that I'm working on. And I know when he see it, he's going to know that that's for him. Sometimes that's the way God see fit. It's going to resonate with whoever click on it. I'm going to say 75% of my viewers are supporters, whether or not if they're members. But when you start saying, I ain't got enough, because I got to get this, that, and it's not a necessity, it's a want, and you've been sliding and gliding this whole time. Because some people feel like they ain't got that, they don't have to pay no DEBT. They don't know who they owe it to. I'm gonna tell you, it's everyone you encounter. They just don't know it. But when the man upstairs says, a sin, are they coming in? He mean that. Every bit of it. You know, some that have been afforded a new life, a better life, so they feel, will push and pull to remain on top, and they're not supposed to. Sometimes you're just supposed to fall, get out of the way, stay quiet, not worry about if somebody know they done took your beans, Beamer, Hummer. It just really don't matter, because if you're truly making good investments, that means you got somebody there by your side, right? That's gonna support you, even if it's not romantic wise. The man upstairs will send you Calvary, because if you're in a phase of ascension like I was, that means you can have nobody around you. Nobody. Yes, including adult children. Because if you have a little one that's underage, that means they're supposed to be there. When you start realizing that he'll send you Calvary when you feel like you ain't got no one, then you understand that that's walking by faith and not by sight. The thing about it, when you have children, it's extremely hard to do. When you are a single, well-bodied adult, it's easier because you don't have someone that you have to look after. It's only you. It gets worse for those that are well-bodied adults that feel like they don't have to do nothing for nobody, while asking for everything from everybody they feel they can get something from. You ever had someone just look at you with piercing eyes after you've asked them the umpteenth time for $6,000? I ain't on that level. I didn't ask, and I didn't been given. I didn't been blessed. But when I figured out that I had to protect my family because of what was happening regarding my occupation, I said, y'all doing way too much now. You ever just realize everything went downhill because you got fame? Somebody seen you and said, you know what? I'm about to try this on this person. The ones that things, y'all, the ones that do things, I just seen one of them skeeters. I think that's a skeeter. To y'all, you feel like they're running money. You can thank the man upstairs for that. Because there's always someone that want to push a fault. They come in, they all angry, things ain't going right. I want to know why my life going down. Because you a hater. I want to know why I was brought to your company. Because you a hater. If I just say it like that, then they'll fake like they one of them G's. Oh, this boo 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 boo, and get mollywopped when they go outside, and then they'll act like it's not. It can't be. It can't be from what happened with Ita. You over there talking about 1, 2, 3. 3 licks it takes to get to a lollipop. And I'm sitting over here saying, I ain't did nothing. It's for entertainment purposes only. Because that's how the man upstairs, it's a certain group of males that feel like they could tee women specifically. They're not doing it to the females, the ones that really have them set up. They're not doing it to them. Those is they friends. They go after women, and God has a fraction for them. Ooh, she said it. She said the G word. I love doing that. Let's see if he cut it off. How many minutes? I'm at 31:44. So my supporters, y'all gonna know. That is, oh, that was quick. Y'all gonna know if he cut it off. It is 4:44. Listen. Them old players, when they start getting old and that hairline start receding and that belly start sticking out and they ain't got no lower strength. See, y'all see some of them men that's up there in their 50s working out. Y'all understand that at one point, the life expectancy for a black male was 60. When I really realized that my father passed over at 59, that's young. Some of y'all may not feel like it is, but that's young. Some of you gonna get smart and start researching. When you trying to take care of an overpriced home in a fairly decent neighborhood, it happened like that. You be working and working and working and working and working and working and working. A $300,000 home. You know what that mean? That mean you ain't gonna get no money from it. If you do decide to sell, you might owe. You know what I'm saying? You got 2 and 3 mortgages on your home. After the first one, you might as well just hang it up. Is if you feel like you're gonna go and get a second mortgage to make the ends meet, you know what type of DEBT that is? Oh, y'all ain't got to worry about that because the dude I was talking about, he was somebody with the 8. So they cool for right now. But when I'm finished woo-wopping them, you know what I'm saying? When he finished woo-wopping, it's going to be a different story to tell. You ever just try to get 8 and you can't? You working and working and working. You say, why I can never get the 8? They want to put me in the jet, so I can't even get on the Ottery. It's always horseshoes, almost don't count. You ever just because of Haskana? Ooh, now you talking ether. When you start realizing that you're not a candidate for a lot of this stuff because of a Haskana, then you start realizing how it affects your everyday life. For those of you that are going to reach out for a clearing specifically, like that $50, don't even do it because I've been already informed people that when I do a clearing, it's through a reading. I might be off this platform before I go down. I don't know why y'all feel like it's a whole bunch of celebrities that are members and stuff. I done said several times, there ain't no celebrity on my membership. I would know if they were there. So when I say, so when I give a reading and they know their energy is there, and then all of a sudden they getting swatted and all of this stuff, they ain't got nothing to do with me because I done said several different ways you need to become a member. Several. I don't know how many other ways I can say it. If you're in the industry, metaphors are key. I done gave you 7 different scenarios, 7 different baby mamas, 7 situations, 7 cars, 7 zodiac signs. I mean, the thing is, people feel like if they watch long enough, they gonna figure it out and they can do it without me, and they can't. It just get worse and worse because you keep making bad investment, bad investment, bad investment. Now that's not for everyone. If they elect one, they're a part of the U world. They got a chance. You know what I'm talking about? That's just When I say free work, understand that it's not really free work, but I call it free work because I'm not getting no money from it currently. You know, every one of us have to have service. We have to. This is why it's called community. We have to service each other. We might not see any dividends from it at the moment, but it comes back in different ways. You ever give someone that is homeless, right? I'm talking about the level of homelessness when they're on the street, right? Sitting on the curb. You ever give them some money, not food, $2 or $3, and then later on you find 30 or you get a $30 raise or something. This is how the men upstairs work. So now that y'all know it, don't act like you haven't benefited. My members are not rich. If they have some sort of fame, it's not on this platform. Y'all need to understand that. This is why they protect it like they are. Because there's some goofy in the back that feels like he can put a T because he is saying he can't afford it. And he finna go call dude and get him an eighth. That be the stuff I'll be talking about right there. And then when he get to coughing too hard, he say stuff like, "Ether, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me." Goofy. I mean, it would make sense to not watch. That means you playing with the game. Like, there's nothing about me that says play with me. If you were to see me in person, you wouldn't look at me and say, Ether is the type that I would play with. You wouldn't say nothing because it takes a certain amount of chimush to even approach me, regardless if you think I'm ugly or not. I am not the type of woman that you see and decide that you're going to play with me. So why y'all think y'all gonna do it on the internet? It's nothing about me that say I'm a toy. When I come on here, I'm in my masculine energy because this is my job. When I'm around my spiritual spouse, I don't have to be in masculine energy. He gets a totally different version of me. And it is indeed a spiritual union. You may say, well, why he not? Because he's not supposed to. When you start asking questions that have nothing to do with you, and then you want a freebie, and then you decide you're going to get a right away deck and look at the chart that come off the internet and start discerning your own tarot readings, and then you're going to become a reader for the public and just get you some little extra income, not residual, because residual mean you got an M next to you, and you don't got you don't got a dollar sign next to you. So when you figure out that them 4,000 watch hours is some of the darndest watch hours, you're gonna say, I can't just turn on the TV and leave it on all day. You ever just realize 4,000 watch hours is like 3 years? That means you're working and working and working and working and working for free, hoping come in and get a $5 reading. Now they decide they're gonna do 10 and 20 because they seen my $10 and $20 reading. Look, check this out. If they not frequenting me for $10, they ain't coming to you for no $10. My body of work, just look at it. I got almost 3,000 videos. Can't nobody with 100 videos, 500 videos say they outrank me or that their readings are better. You just can't. They see my longevity, they see my growth. So, Miss New Udi, you're not doing nothing innovative. What you're doing is you're going from reader to reader, borrowing, because that's what y'all feel like y'all doing. They not gonna know because I went through it yesterday, so they gotta be on my same frequency if they watching me. Miss New Udi. You know, it's a bunch of readers that have been here for a very long time that when they see new ones, they say they're going to be over there on their channel watch. And they don't even bother to watch you no more. Because before they would watch, when a reader know they better than you, they're not going to watch you. That's what it be. If they know they better than you, why watch you? They don't want to be in your algorithm. Because next thing you know, you're going to be telling tall tales and trying to get their viewers, and they didn't spend 3 years trying to get them out of confusion because they was confused. You know what I'm saying? You ever just realize that you was confused because of what somebody was doing to you spiritually, and on top of that, you got a Heskana, and you don't know where to go? And I be saying, reach out to me at oracleoftheether@gmail.com. Some don't want it to be me, and that's fine. But I'm not a hater. It's business, not pleasure. If the man upstairs is providing you a way out, you should take it. I would. Every time that I said, I'm going to go back and bless someone that has blessed me with their energy, with their skills, I've done it, except for one. And that is because she is not on this platform. Not that I know of. I haven't ran across her, and that was 10 years ago. You know when somebody really got skills. Like when they really know what they talking about. It ain't about memorizing the deck. I like intuitive readers. That means they have a talent, and the deck is just a tool. They're going to give you their perspective. And now, some of y'all are able to connect with your lineage because you ascended. It's a whole different feel. I have a handful of readers, and I do mean a handful, of all nationalities that I respect and that I would watch currently, although I haven't watched any readers in years. And this is because of this ascension. And that's it. What I feel, because somebody wants to know, what I feel is when you gravitate to certain readers as a reader, as an oracle, as an intuitive, as a psychic, as a medium, when you gravitate to certain readers, it is because y'all share something in common. Now, I said it before and I'm going to say it again. If you pick up on the same energy, you're going to add to that previous reading, not take away from. That means something in you is going to say, wait a minute. I know, for instance, I heard Ether say this. You're going to second guess. You're going to say, am I supposed to say this? And then if you're supposed to say it, you're going to be skeptical. But if you have a good heart, you're going to say it, and then whatever needs to come out after is going to come out, because sometimes that's a key. Sometimes it's the key. Now, your spirit team knows if you're copying, borrowing, or adding. And what that talks about is you giving an extension to my reading, not recreating it. So that means you're giving the viewer a different perspective of the same energy, which is still their energy. You don't know where you're at. You don't know how they maneuver and where you're at. It could be a whole different energy in the same person. So now that we got that clear, okay. Well, it's good to ask. Not sure why you put it, that's something that you ask the man upstairs for peace and good health. That's what you ask him. Some of y'all been getting, I'm going to get this reading for 6 years. I'm going to join the membership for 6 years. I'm going to donate. I've been doing that. I've been saying I'm going to donate for 6 years. You done been on vacation. You done bought 3 hoopties. You done got a whole barrel of Bammer. You ever just get a whole barrel of Bammer and you think you came up and you find out it's grass?